guys, I have obviously started a YouTube channel. This is my first video, so please do be partially nice to me. It is going to be a contour video. If you hear banging in the background, I'm really sorry. My mum or dad are doing something in their room and the banging, literally, you can hear all of it in here. But I'm literally just going to get started with it. I moisturised my face, cleaned my face, I did all of that stuff before this, and I put on my foundation because my skin is bad, so I need full coverage. And I use Kat Von D's Look It Tattoo foundation. I love Kat Von D, her foundation, tattoos, her, all of it. Mine's in the shade Light 44, which you're not going to be able to see because my light is too bright. But I've been mixing it with this. It makes it dewier and it gives a bit more coverage, and it is Stargazer's Pro Foundation, normal to dry, rich, creamy foundation. And it is, yeah, I tend to mix this with it with my Kat Von D because I found that these two together make a more full coverage, really dewy sort of foundation, and it finishes really nicely. Like doesn't transfer, I can, especially around here it doesn't transfer, around here it does, but that's just because I pack on foundation like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to start with my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. Mine is in the shade Light. I use the banana shade a lot, and it's filthy at the moment, as you can see, it's really bad. And I use my Kat Von D concealer brush, which is filthy as well. I really should clean these, and it just says concealer on it. And I'm just going to tuck my horrible hair behind my head, and I'm going to take the banana shade. I wear a lot of makeup, so I'm just going to load it all onto my brush, and as you can see, that's very brightening. I'm just going to put that all underneath my eye. I'm just going to highlight here, corners of my mouth down, because I get really dark along here. I'm going to highlight that as much as possible, as well as a little bit on my chin. I try not to do too much on my chin. I do highlight down here on both sides, straight down my nose, because I have a very big crooked nose. Between my eyebrows I like to look quite highlighted, but it doesn't actually tend to work. I have already done my eyebrows, they're not naturally light. So I'm going to go for this colour, which is cream, as sort of a base contour shade, because it's not that far off my natural skin colour, and because I am really pale, which may not pay off that much on camera, I try to sort of do a gradient almost, and I just go, see, it's very hard to notice where I want my darker contour shade to go. So I'm just taking more of that colour, and this I just sloppily apply down the side of my nose, very sloppily, sort of into my eyebrow, down the side of my nose, down the side of my nose. And now we're going with the darker shade, which is called Cinnamon. I'm just going to draw a line, dot it along there, to making the whole YouTube thing. So if the editing of this video is fairly crappy, give me time, I will learn. I am trying to learn how to edit videos properly. Let's go over there, around here, because I like quite the rounded chin shape. Dead centre there, which isn't going to show up much, it's just going to blend with the lighter colour. And I'm going to take it down the sides of my nose, mainly at the bottom. Try and make it as narrow as I can. Keep blending. I go across the bottom. As you can see, it makes my nose look very slim. And because I have like a natural button nose, I just add put it to the edge. I take my Naked Skin Urban Decay concealer in the shade Fair Neutral, which again isn't gonna come up. Anyway, because this is more of a watery consistency, it's easier, and I don't use a lot of this when I've used the cream as well. I just go over my highlighted areas with this. I bought this on eBay for £2 and it works amazingly. I can imagine the actual brushes working 10 times better, but this still, for a cheap £2 buy on eBay, works stupidly well. So I'm just going to go blend all of that out, like so. And I'll brush that down and onto my neck, and it really crisps up that line. And I'll just tap it into the contour shade so it blends it a little bit. I like quite strong contour and highlight. I'm not a natural makeup kind of person. I do like lots of makeup, as you can tell. So depending on whether that's your sort of thing, depends on whether you'd even follow this. And again, I just blend that up mainly, but I do go down just so it's not as harsh. And just go over this side, tap that in slightly, go around the chin. I try and do the majority of the contour before the highlight, because my contour to me ends up softer when I do it that way. Whether it does or not is a totally different story, but it just really smoothly blends that. So that's it so far, and obviously we have this big old mess to tackle, which is underneath my eyes. I am going to use this just to tap in around the edges. Now I'm taking a damp beauty blender, which is also filthy in my opinion for foundation. Blending that all in right up to the inside of my eye. And with the next step, I try to be quite quick, because I don't want an awful lot of creasing happening around my eye area. Now I am taking my e.l.f. high definition powder, which I really need to clean my makeup because that is filthy. This stuff is good, and it just says shit, but I find that it does sort of slightly change the colour of my foundation. I feel like it makes it slightly darker, but this is so finely milled, it's just a lovely product to use really. I keep dabbing until everything to me is blended. Down my neck slightly, across here, above my eyes. And I'll go ham on the powder, but that's what setting spray is for, to get rid of that powdery feel. I'm going to take my Real Techniques dried sponge. I'm going to dab it in the e.l.f. powder, and I'm just going to go straight under my eye. And actually on camera, to be honest, I think that lightens and it makes it look an awful lot brighter under my eye. I'm not going to be doing any eye looks or anything like that just yet, not until I'm fully aware of editing and that sort of thing. I am baking with this, which, see, it seems to take away some of the coverage of my foundation, because now I have a slight sort of face demon blemish showing. I'll just go down my nose. And now I'm just going to take my Real Techniques, I don't even know what this one's called now because the thing has scratched off where I've used this so often, and with the powder that's left I'm stabbing my brush in, swirling it around, and then going over my whole face. Over the tops of my eyes slightly. My eyelashes will probably go white and my eyebrows will go grey. See, it's sort of taken the coverage away from that one spot. I just dust everything away down onto my neck. As you can see, I'm pretty matte now. I'm just going to share a little tip. If I do get a blemish come back through, I take a tiny amount of foundation, the very tip of my beauty blender. I just dab it in the foundation ever so slightly, and then I go back over it, and it sort of makes it invisible, which is probably, I have actually got a few scars and issues on my face at the moment, so ignore that. I'm just going to go back over my brows quick because they're looking very grey. This is Gimme Brow by Benefit. This is the medium to dark one. Just going to make my brows a little bit darker. See how much better that looks? The issues of doing your eyebrows before you powder just for a video. Now I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder contour kit, and I have upsetting news. I have broken my favourite shade. I haven't broken it, I've hit pan on it, which is really depressing. But hey ho, life goes on. As you can see, I have very little space on my forehead that is highlighted, so I'm just going to take the shade, I do not have these shades mesmerised, Sand, which is a slightly highlighted shade, sort of shimmery shade, with my Real Techniques setting brush or something, I do not know. Cut that off and just go over my forehead with it. In the areas I kind of want it to look a little bit more highlighted again. It adds a really nice sheen, which is what you want when you're highlighting. I'm just going to take it down my nose ever so slightly. I do highlight a lot more than this. I'm just going to go underneath my eye with that and the banana shade mixed together. Underneath my eye with it, bring it up, banana shade, and then the highlight sort of shade again, to bring that up and round. I'm going to go with the shade Fawn, I believe it is. Yes. I'm just going to swirl it about in there a little bit, dust off the excess. I'm literally just going to start from the top of my ear, swirling it, working it down. You'll see it appear quite quickly, and it will build up quickly because I've already done cream contour, and I don't normally do both, but I thought for the sake of this video I'll make it as intense as I can. And I have a really itchy nose, which is so frustrating. I go in my temple, around my forehead, just a little bit with this because my forehead I usually make pretty dark anyway. I tend to just go around the sides of my forehead with this, like so. And then I go back in around here. If I'm looking this way, there is a mirror here. Quite grey based also. This is Java. In my opinion it's grey based, but other people may say different. I'm just taking that around and I'm just going at the very deepest points of my contour with that. I use the same brush, I hold it so it slightly flattens it, and then I just go down the side of it, like so. It just really intensifies my nose apparently. I'm just going to take this also very cheap brush that I got off of Amazon, eBay, my sister got it for me for Christmas. Take to help blend this out. It has no product on it, it's just a very thick brush. I do tend to use this sometimes, but it depends on if I've used cream to put it with this, I'll use this to blend out powder. If I've used this to put cream on and blend that out, then I'll use this for powder. It tends to depend, but you just need to go have a good chat about what you're doing. That actually didn't work. See how it's strong it is there, but it's not over here. It's sort of blended slightly, but I will go back in and bake this area so that that ends up more crisp. I do try and blend upwards, but when you're not paying attention and you're talking, you do not help yourself. And then tackle the blending of my nose. The thing is, if you don't blend your nose out properly, the second you get outside, someone's going to be like, what are those two lines down the side of your nose? So you have to, I'm just going to make that contour a little bit stronger. Gone. But it just helped define that contour just a little bit. I didn't want it too in your face. That's a lie, I did. My hair really does look a mess. Right, I'm now going to apply blush, which isn't blush. I use Bare Minerals. It says on the back eye colour in Velvet Strawberry. I actually can't see which way that's supposed to go. There is no way in hell you're going to be able to read that on the bottom. The lid, because you get quite a lot of product and it's a very dark, it looks so pink but it's not, it's a very dark red. I'm taking this Real Techniques brush again, I'm just swirling it around the lid because this is so pigmented, it's insane. I'm just going to buff that in slightly on the apples of my cheek, round by my contour. Just same on the other side. Swirl it around in the lid again, just to intensify a little bit. And now I'm going to highlight. I'm going to take my Skin Wow highlighter. I'm just going to put a pump on the back of my hand. You'll see a pump is actually a lot of product and you probably can't see the sheen of it. If I just do this. I'm sorry, my nails are so filthy and disgusting. It's very shimmery and it's sort of more of a whitey pinky colour than it is gold and that sort of thing. But I'm going to use my beauty blender. I'm just going to roll it around. So as you can see, it literally gets all over the top half of it. I'm just going to smother that and you will see the highlight pretty quickly, I'd imagine, because I use a lot of it. Putting it on my forehead, down my nose, around this side, onto this cheek. Right. And now I'm going to take another highlighter because I'm insane when it comes to highlighter. This is the MUA Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlights in Iridescent Glow. Looks like this, and I hate trying to open this. When I have fake nails on, it's practically impossible to open, and it looks like this. It is very, very shimmery, but it's almost grainy, glittery. You can see the gold glow. I'm going to swipe that in on both sides, pat it off, add it to my cheek, and it's going to intensify that by a million. On my forehead, tip of my nose more than anything. I like to be really highlighted. Across my chin. And now I'm going to take my favourite setting mist, which is Kat Von D's Lock and Load setting mist, and I love this. The only thing I hate is, I love the look of the packaging, I hate the material it is because it gets filthy so quickly. The same as, I also got the brush kit, and the packaging is beyond gorgeous. It just looks pretty, but it gets so messy, so messy. But I suppose it's got that rustic sort of look to it anyway. I'm just going to pull my hair back and spray really quick. whenever I think I need it. Let my face dry up. And then I'm going to take my, once that's dry, there you go, it dries pretty quick. It's by Lush, it's tea tree water, toner water, which I shouldn't really spray on my makeup, but it helps with the glow, and it also and sort of is an antibacterial on my face after I've applied my makeup. So just my hair back, and I just take my beauty blender quick, just dab over everything, make sure it's all set in place. My highlighter, I'm glowing. But yeah, that is it. That is my contour and highlight routine and blush, and it went a little bit longer than what I expected. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will speak to you again soon. Bye.